Welcome back to another video, size viewers. You've probably noticed that there is a little bit of a different format change. Well, I'm trying to do something different to make these videos a little bit of engaging while being able to give you guys a little bit of commentary and sort of kind of show gameplay footage to, increase the runtime and to keep your interest. So I just want to go ahead and just start off with trying to do something a little bit different from here on out. Now, let's talk about a fun manga from Shonen Jump, which is called Chieri's Love is 8 Meters. Now, you guys in the GTS world know that this manga's been around for a while, but with Japan, we always get these wonderful mangas that every once in a while can bless a reader's mind, right? So let's think about all of the stuff that's been out, right? Imagine if your girlfriend doesn't know how to communicate, and so they made a manga or an anime called Komi Can't Communicate. Imagine if your girlfriend was sort of kind of a bully. You got Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. But in this case, imagine if your girlfriend is 8 meters tall, is a giantess, essentially. Not the biggest giantess on scale, but she's giant no matter what. So she falls within our fandom, right? And so that's where we have this manga, right? So this manga is this super adorable, very sweet, loving story that when you go into it, you're wondering that being typical Japan, it's going to be extremely fetishy, super duper kinky, or very erotic compared to a lot of the other stuff that we've seen with all of the manga and the comics that are available for this kind of fandom. But it honestly takes the Japan, when it comes to Japan and storytelling, they just know how to take a topic like that, right? Just the fact that she's giant, and actually make it into a very sweet, very funny, actually, romantic story. I was actually genuinely surprised. And you have our main supporting characters, which is Chieri Omine, and then you have Yumiji Kotaki. You have her sister, which is Yuringo Omine. You have the teacher, which is, I believe his name is Sudo. Then you have the janitor, and then you have her two best friends, which is Sukino Yanatsu and then Hina Sasaki. Now, if I butchered those names, I am sorry, guys. When it comes to reading Japanese names, I am absolutely terrible at it. But the cast for the story, for the manga, is very small, like literally. Because this manga is primarily focused on Yumiji and Chieri. And it's really just all about their dynamic from here. So I'll just give you guys not too detailed synopsis about the story. You know, honestly, if you really go and read the 20 chapters, you can finish it within 30 minutes. Now, it's not done. I believe it's still ongoing, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's still going on. If I'm not I haven't verified it yet, but I know for a fact that it's super easy to read through. Like, you can just finish it in just mere minutes. So all I can say is this is you go in wanting the giantess. Somebody made a comment in one of my pictures. He said that you go in for the giantess content, but you end up coming out for the comedy and the funniness. And it's true. Like, the entire manga is just funny, and it's so cute in every single way. And that's the kind of content that I'm personally into. I love gentle giantess stories where it's not focused on pornography the entire time. It's not focused on these various tropes that honestly turns me off from a lot of the content that I see out there. Rather, it actually takes an aspect of Chieri's size, and it turns it into a very cute and adorable story, which is something that I appreciate greatly. So what's wonderful about it is that the story starts off with Chieri, right? And you kind of get that very typical anime style start off where he's having his self monologue, and then boom, you see this giant hand handing him a giant eraser, and she's just kind of appearing herself. Chieri and Yumiji kind of come off as a very the very typical friendship where they kind of know each other already, and they act very shy. Only what I like about their dynamic is that Yumiji isn't as shy as the most of the boys that you see in anime, where they have a love interest, right? Where they're constantly intimidated by little things, like when she unbuttons her shirt, or that moment in the manga where she lifts up her dress whenever he kind of asks her did you forget to wear your shorts, or something like that. There's a term for it. I forgot what it's called. But it's moments like that that bring a charm to the manga that I absolutely love. Now it starts off with Chieri not always being big. They didn't give. I don't think they ever gave an explanation onto how she got big. It's kind of like very typical Japan where she was one day a normal sized person and then suddenly she just got big because why not? You know, let's just make her big for no reason. And she gets all of her stuff and all of her items, her house, her clothes, and all of that stuff given to her by the government or what they call the department. And essentially, Yumiji signed up and volunteered to be her assistant or helper. So basically, they're childhood friends. They've known each other since they were kids, and that's just kind of where you have that these two characters already know who they were, and there's a little bit of obviously there's that very slow build up of love between the two characters where they are very clearly and very openly, well, not openly, but very clearly having a crush on each other in various cute ways. And that's pretty much where the story kind of just has its various elements through the cute stuff, the very romantic themes with the mixing in with the GTS themes, where you have moments where she would have asked Yumiji, like she would tease him a lot using her size, right? Generally speaking, there was like a moment where she had asked him to climb up her body, and he got shy and he just didn't do it. Or there was a scene in the later chapters where she got stuck, and then she had asked him to push her butt from the back. Obviously, him being small, that would be quite a bit of a task for him to do. And so he kind of got nervous, and he just tells her to, like, push through and try to make it through. And it's like a lot of these cute scenes that you see in the manga that bring its charm. Another thing that I really love about like reading this is just like how she's kind of viewed as a superhero in some ways. Not a superhero, but a person who does a lot of good volunteering for people around the city, where she confronts like a guy who is speeding, or she helps a lot of the city folk, and she's depicted as a very well-mannered girl who helps people. She always tells people that she wants to help others around them, even though she can't really help herself sometimes because of her size. And Yumiji sees that she's very limited, and that in some ways that kind of affects how she interacts with people and whatnot. And so Yumiji has a very clear crush on her, but he also empathizes the fact that her size makes life very much harder for her. And I like that the manga actually shows this. It's like it has its moments where it can be silly, and then it has its charming moments where it actually depicts what kind of struggle Chieri has. But overall, it's more so comedic, if anything, considering that it is a very size-based manga, where often or not she would like do a lot of other types of teases with Yumiji, and it's things like that that I freaking love so much. And the fact that it's the conversations between the characters also, and that's also very typical of like anime style Japan, where you can take something quirky and make it feel so normal, is the part of the manga that I love so much. That even though she may be a giantess in per se, she's a very normal girl. Like, she's not walking around fee fi fo fum, I'm gonna step on you kind of mentality. She's, you would sometimes when you're reading this, right, you would forget that she's a giant. And it's those conversations that like inspire me, especially in my own stories, right, where it's still very human. It doesn't, you are reminded that this is a normal human girl who has normal human feelings and has normal human desires, the same as Yumiji. And Yumiji treats her the same way despite her size. He accepts her, he's willing to help her, and he tells her that he's gonna always protect her no matter what. And she tells him something. There was like a really sweet scene in one of the chapters where she tells him that when she was younger, he would always protect her, and even though she's big, she likes the idea of him still being a protector. And I just absolutely love that. Just like the little one being the protector of like a giantess, and like even though she can clearly defend herself, obviously with her size, because she can be intimidating, it's sweet that he loves her, or at least cares about her enough to have that in his mind. So you have moments like that. So as you continue to read on, a lot of it just has a lot of just adorable moments, and that's really all it is, to be honest with you. It's Not too deep with its storyline. It's a comedy shonen jump manga. Then when you get down to the later chapters, it does get a little bit fetishy, where she has moments where like you get like the little her dress going up. They had a moment where she was entering in the bath with her sister. Like, you got that moment going on in the manga. Then you have moments with like then you have the funny moments where she arm wrestled a teacher who was apparently super hot to one of her friends. You have like the other moments where she Yumiji feeds her. I love that. That was great. Where he feeds her, and it's kind of scary too, like when you think about it, like when you put food in a giant girl's mouth, it's just like, what? But all of these kind of stuff is like literally what my channel stands for. Like, I love stuff like this, and mangas like this that take something that often or not is criticized by so many people and turn it into something that's so normal is what I'm all about, guys. This is literally what my channel is all about. I love gentle stuff like that, and I'm just looking forward to like more similar stories like this, because it's very rare. Very, very rare. You know, it reminds me of kind of like how King and Diane were in the Seven Deadly Sins, where I guess you could say in the size difference scale they are kind of similar. Like, I believe Diane was like just about as big as Chieri is, and King was just, well, he was a short little like boy, or you know, besides his other form that he changed into. But yeah, it's those moments that capture like the essence of like what we like about size and perspective. And then also how you can take a fantasy and you can make into a genuine story, you know. Whereas most people tell me that who have saw my stories on DeviantArt or even on here says that, you know, how were you able to take something that typically is associated with pornography and make it into a story? Well, read this story for yourself. Read Chieri's 8 Meters Love, and you can see for yourself that you can take something like that and turn it into something absolutely adorable. And it's stuff like this that honestly we need more of. Like, there is just not enough manga that is like that. And I am searching for like even like stories or even dedicated mangas to stuff where it just doesn't have to stray into, you know, the dirtiness of it all. You know, there's just too much dirty stuff out there. There's so much dirty content out there, and whether it just be in the Giantess fandom, or in any kind of other fandom where people honestly just think that it has to be dirty. And this manga just tells us, no, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be dirty. It doesn't have to be porn. It can be cute. It can be adorable. It can have themes. It can have gentle story stuff. It can have all of these things. And so I didn't want to like do a full synopsis of it, because honestly, I think it really is better if you guys go and read it for yourselves. It's super easy. It will only take you a couple of minutes to get through. But if you do read the manga, you will honestly enjoy everything about it. And so its themes is really about love, as the most popular genre in the entire world, right? Love is the most popular genre in most storytelling. And so it's love between two childhood friends. And the girl just happens to be big, really tall, or really giant per se. And so you have that two dynamic going on, and that's where you get your story. And that's really what it is. It's really nothing too deep. There's really no, it's a slice of life manga. You know, it's kind of the same thing with Komi-san Can't Communicate, where the story was revolved around a girl who has communication issues. And you have a large cast of beloved characters that her friends, or the amount of friends that she's trying to make, becomes part of the main storyline. Whereas this story, it's smaller. The cast is very small. There's only a few people that actually have names, or the rest are just background characters, or characters that barely get any screen time. Like, even her friends, like Sukina and I believe Yanatsi, is it Yanat? Yeah, forgive me if I'm saying it, if it sounds like something else. No, that's the first one, Sukina, and then there's Hina, right? Hina. Those are her two friends, and even then they barely get screen time. But they kind of like, they didn't, you know, serve that much purpose in the manga, to be honest with you. They kind of just come off as what they are, supporting characters who, when they come in, they're more like the girl, like, oh, what is you should ask Yumiji what kind of stuff that he likes to see girls wear, and you should ask him and choose a outfit for him. Oh, let's do your hair. They kind of act like that, and Not saying that I was disappointed in that, you know, but it would be nice to see more characters play along in the manga. I will give that little criticism in there because it's just way too focused on Yumiji and Chieri. And I don't have a problem with that per se, but you know, a little bit of extra characters, you know, around in a story would probably help the manga a lot. And what I've been seeing on the reviews is people who are not familiar with, like, some people called it fetish bait, as I said earlier in the video, and some people say that it would think that it's fetish bait, but it's not. And if you're a person like me, obviously you see my channel, right? You see what I create, right? Right? You could see stuff like that and know that no, it's not fetish bait. It's very clearly a love story, and that's really all it is. And so, guys, I make this video for y'all real quick to just give y'all a little fun little Friday night talk down on a very awesome manga, and I implore you to go and read it. Honestly, you can just go on Google and you can search it up, or you can, if you have the Shonen subscription, I believe you can see it there. So, wherever you can find it, that's where you can read the manga for free, or you can read it in the Shonen. I'm not sure. Just do whatever it is you guys got to do. But all I can say is this manga is awesome, and I only hope to inspire you guys more to get into stories like that, because stories like that are pretty awesome. So, size viewers, thank you guys for watching this video. I make this video for now on where I'm going to have a different format of doing a little bit of commentary. And hopefully this will work out for you guys. I will see you guys next time. Take care.